Hi, this is David Odell here with OdellCompleteConcrete. What we're doing here, and you may have seen this before, it's a sunken living room. It's a real common thing in the early 80s that they do this to break up the rooms. And we're going to just bring up the entire level flat, which is really going to open the space up in this house. Now when you do raise a floor and you have outlets around the perimeter, those as well will have to come up. I mean, technically they're supposed to be between 10 to 16 inches above the floor level, so these particular outlets need to come up about 6 inches to be within that minimal 10 inches above floor level, which is pretty simple to do. On the rebar dowels here, we're using 3/8 rebar. I've drilled in here about 4 inches, and then I've driven them in with an 8-pound sledgehammer. There's no glue, no epoxy, not necessary in this. You can't go anywhere, can't rust. We're interior, so this is ideal for this. Now if you can see my laser level there. I just set it on the ground, and I was just measuring the height from the floor to the top of the red light, the red laser beam that it sends out, and it was at 6.5 inches. And this floor was 6 inches, so it shot me a nice red line out, and I could actually see the red line on the dark walls. It was a 1/2 inch high, so I just had to come down a 1/2 inch below that red line it was sending, and that gave me a perfectly level floor. I did find that in that far right corner of the existing concrete, that was about 1/4 to 3/8 higher than everything else. Kind of came up in that corner of the existing floor, but we have to match it because the new wood flooring is going over everything. But all in all, this floor was really quite level. I was pretty amazed. I had some extra rebar, so I just threw it in there on an angle. There's no rhyme or reason for it. Now this plastic here I'm laying out, they have some manufactured used brick down here. I have to run the pump hose up here, and I don't want to drag the rubber hose on this brick. It's going to leave rubber marks, black rubber marks on it, potentially even chip it. So I laid some 6mm on there. Now right here I've got some aluminum that I'm going to wrap around this wood banister coming down that I'll be pouring against. I'm just going to use my pocket knife, which I always carry. It's a multi-purpose tool. It's got a screwdriver, Phillips, and most importantly a bottle opener. But that comes in handy. Keep that sharp. It's always in your pocket. I cut right through this aluminum with no problem. Now what we'll do is we'll lay some plastic. I have some 1mm plastic here, and it's clear. It's more clear than what you'd normally find at say Home Depot. It's kind of an opaque white that's really hard to see through, but I need really clear for this because I want to be able to see the red line behind the plastic, because that's my grade. That's the level I want to put my concrete to. So anything other than clear plastic you don't want to use in this situation. Now this plastic comes all the way down to the floor, because when we put the concrete in here, there's water in it. That water's got to go somewhere, and drywall will absorb water, and that's the last thing you'd want. So you put the plastic on there, the concrete can't absorb into the drywall that way. The nice thing about pouring concrete this time of year, especially, in the winter time, is you could turn your heater off, and the concrete, while it's drying overnight, will heat your whole house. Could have did some radiant flooring in here too. So when you walk around barefoot in this area, your feet stay warm. Also warms the house to some degree. So here's your rod board. Basically what we're going to do is just kind of come around all the edges with this rod board a couple feet, and then we'll wet screed off of everything all the way around. I'm using a 3000 psi mixture in here, and we put it in about a 5-inch slump. You could get away with a 2500 or 2000, but 3000 will set you up a little bit quicker in this enclosed area. There's going to be some hardwood flooring going over this, although I won't be doing it, but that's the goal here, is to get matching hardwood all the way through this bottom floor of this house. And you can see, since we had concrete on the bottom, how much water comes up. Now what I'm doing right now is I'm knocking out the bowl float lines more than anything. I'm not trying to work the water back into the concrete. I'm actually pushing the water around rather than forcing it back into the concrete. So the water is still on the surface there, but I've gotten rid of the deep bowl float lines. And what we'll do is, when we go out here, because in this particular situation where all the water has to come up, your bottom is very hard, but at the very surface is where all your water is just accumulating. So what we're going to have to do is go out there on some boards, and we're going to pull all that water to one side, and we'll actually put it in a 5-gallon bucket and get it out of there. So as we go around here, we'll just keep pushing the water in one direction. Then we'll scoop it up at the end, put it in a bucket, and then it can dry out, and then we can hit it for the final time. Now the baseboard that is in this house is about a 5-inch baseboard. It's very, very thick, or very wide, which will come right up and around those outlets if you were to leave them there. So those will be coming up. What you have to do is put a pigtail. You have to leave that box and put a cap on it and extend up from there. There's not likely enough wire. There might be enough wire in there to just go up a little bit. Could be. But you won't know until you open them up. So we removed all the plastic. A little bit of cement at the base there. It's not going to hurt because the baseboard will cover that. This concrete, we just razor knifed the plastic right flush with the concrete, so the plastic is still there between the drywall and concrete, as well as the aluminum against the wood. That's still there as well. That'll be there forever. The only reason we need it is for the time being, while the concrete has a lot of moisture in it. Now here's your finished product. It's a little blurry, but it's coming in focus, I think. Anyway, if you like these videos, up in the right left hand corner, we're going to show you some more stuff like this. It may even be another sunken room, similar situation, or something else in this category. So you can always check it out and then see what you like. If you like these videos, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of the latest and greatest as I roll them out. And thank you for watching.